Alright, today we're going to draw another of my favorite things, which is gemstones. Anything shiny is a favorite for me in real life and in drawing, so I do a fair lot of these and get quite a kick out of them. So the first thing we're going to do is make ourselves an outline. You can freehand this to make it whatever shape you want, but I'm just going to do a circle because it's quick and a nice gem shape. Then we're going to use the magic select to select the inside of this, and we'll grow the selection just a couple pixels. That'll put the outline inside of the outline of the selection inside of our actual outline, so you don't have to worry about getting all the way to the edge or anything. It'll just handle it for you. First thing we'll do is add in some background color. I'm going to go dark blue today and just fill that in, make kind of a watery sea gem. And then we'll start doing textures. So what texture you give your gem is pretty much just personal choice, and I change it up every day based on what I'm feeling like. Since I'm thinking water, I'm going to start out with this texture crackles, which gives something that looks kind of, I don't know, wavy to me almost. And I'll put some of that in there. I'm using lighter colors for the textures because I started with a pretty dark background. But you could do the inverse and do a light background and dark textures. As long as you can see it, it'll work out just fine. Next thing I'm going to do is add in some texture with this texture spray, and that will do kind of just like little dots everywhere. So that one's nice to break up patterns a little bit and keep them from being too harsh. So that'll kind of just give us a little bit of interest in there and keep it from being too uniform. I'm also going to concentrate this a bit in the center to make the center a bit lighter, and that'll kind of be the beginning of trying to make this look a bit more 3D. As you can see, I've accidentally put that on the same layer as our crackles, which, you know, that happens pretty frequently when you're drawing and not paying a whole lot of attention. So I'm just going to slap another layer of crackles on top of this and make sure that we still get that effect. Drop down the opacity there. There we go. Now we've still got both in there. Most familiar curse of someone doing digital art is, oh no, I did the wrong layer. You hear that one pretty often. So now that we've got those down, we're going to add in a bit of shading. So I'm going to go back to my pen. And for shading, you want to use the same kind of colors that you've got in your gem, so that will keep it from looking too harsh of an edge. And I'm just going to put a nice layer around the outside. And then I'll choose a slightly lighter shade and do one inside that. And kind of just build it out like a bullseye. Since gemstones aren't super consistent in real life, this doesn't have to be perfect circles or super accurate. It just has to be roughly the right idea of darker around the edge, getting nicer and lighter in the center. And then I'm going to take this smear brush and I'm going to blend it all together so my lines aren't too sharp. And kind of just working from the outside and going in. Doesn't matter which way you go, but consistency is good because then you don't end up having like one side too dark and one side too light. And make sure that everything kind of blends the same. So now we'll drop down the opacity on that till we've got just kind of a hint going across the surface of this sort of texture. Blend the middle a little bit better so that it kind of smears. There we go. There. Now the last thing we're going to do is add in our shine lines. So there's two types of shine lines that tend to look really nice. The first of them is going to be these bigger ones going all the way across the surface. And these kind of give a sense of where the surface is, which can be helpful for giving a little bit more sense of depth. You do want them to be quite light, so they're just supposed to be kind of hidden there for someone to notice if they happen to look. And next is going to be the more obvious shine lines that you're probably more accustomed to, so just give it a nice little arcing swirl there. And then these will also drop down the opacity on until it's just a little bit more subtle. And there you have it. That's a super basic gemstone. They're very fun to adapt to kind of fit whatever you like. I, in particular, really like putting galaxies in gemstones, because of course I do. But you can do whatever you want to and whatever makes you happy. Hope you enjoyed this. Have fun drawing.